What is going on, everybody? It is your humble host, Timothy J. Ward, back with another episode. I believe it's episode 2 of the Daily Ward Live. And today, I'm very excited because it is a topic I've been saying I was going to talk about for a while. I was going to do it in video form, but I said, why not do it in live stream form? Why not, get the feedback from the fam, from the community while we're doing it? First and foremost, though, good morning, hello, good afternoon if you're in certain parts of the world that might be a little further along in the time, the space time continuum than us here in the mountain time zone. Appreciate you tuning in, spending some time this morning with your boy. I'm here. I'm excited. Hopefully, you had a wonderful evening. Let's get the important stuff out of the way first, folks. Real quick, big shout out to the people over at GT's Living Foods. They sent me a nice promo package, so we're going to keep shouting them out until that package is done, and maybe a little afterwards. It's hot out there, folks. You want something nice to drink, grab you some Synergy Kombucha. This is that Sacred Life flavor. I've never had this flavor, so we're going to be sipping on this during the stream once we finish our coffee. Shout out to GT's Living Foods. Yes, sold at stores near you. And they also sent me, I didn't notice this. I thought they sent me one coupon for a free kombucha. It's like a book. It's like a coupon book. So I got like 6 free ones. I might give some of these away. Anyway, the important stuff is out the way. Today, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everybody. Let me look in the chat real quick. Good morning, everybody. Yes, stress-free life. Let's go. Appreciate people saying, hey, that the stream's helping get through the morning, through the day. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to become a positive part of your daily routine and a positive part of my daily routine as well. Yes, we're going to be talking about my 10 keys to a happy life. These are things that, like, over the past few years, I've identified that really helped me to, like, be happy. I consider myself a very happy person. Sometimes I get accused of being too happy, right? Sometimes I get accused of being too happy. You talk about happiness too much, Tim, but I'll take that. If I'm too happy, I'll pay the fine for that. Write me the ticket, okay? If I'm too happy, write me the ticket. I'll pay the fine for that, And yes, this is decaf. Anyway, like I just, if I'm not happy, like, what else is there? Happiness is huge to me. I would say like happiness and freedom are like the 2 biggest things that, my life and my channel is about. Happiness and freedom. Because if you ain't got those, what are you doing it for? And sadly, I think a vast number of our fellow human beings on this planet don't have those things. Or they might have a little bit of one and not the other, or a little bit of the other, not the one, or neither of both, or maybe a little bit of both. But I want everyone to be free and be totally happy. So I've come up with this list of 10 things that I identified really helped me to get happy. Not necessarily any type of order, just 10 things I think are kind of important for your overall happiness level. And I want to say real quick, we're leaving off like health and also like the creature comforts and the bare necessities like food, clothing, and shelter, because I think those are kind of obvious. I'm here to tell you folks, especially y'all young people who ain't never like not been healthy. I'm here to tell you, at the end of the day, health is like the biggest thing out there for happiness. Your health is like the biggest thing out there for a happy life. So if you're healthy right now, embrace it, enjoy it, take the proper steps to stay healthy. That's we're not even putting that one on the list because it's so, it supersedes all this other stuff, is your health. And then obviously, if you don't have food to eat, if you don't have clothing, you don't have proper shelter, it's going to be hard to be happy. So those are pretty obvious. This list, my tips today are for people who have those things. Okay, if you're healthy, you got the basics. Oddly enough, a lot of us still aren't happy with those. I live in the United States of America. A lot of us got decent health, even though we pay an arm and a leg for it. That's a different video. You're not pulling me in to the healthcare debate today. So even though we pay an arm and a leg for it, a lot of us got, either healthy or some access to healthcare. So we're okay. And we got the basics. But a lot of us aren't happy. Why? Well, we're missing. Ooh, that got real dark. We're missing some of the things on this list. So let's jump to it. I like to wait and I like to ramble till we get to like 100 people. We did that. Let's get into the list. Gratitude. Number one. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, on my list of keys to a happy life is gratitude. This is one that, like a few years ago, wouldn't have been on my list. In fact, 5, 6 years ago, I didn't have a list. I just kind of went through life and, you do what you do. You just try to be happy. I was one of those people, honestly, who thought that like happiness was kind of dependent on what happened to me. And it's like, well, it's kind of luck of the draw. And if like good things happen to you, you can be happy. You know, I've learned in the past few years that you can create your happiness. And one of the top ways to do that is to be grateful for what you already have. This is a big one. I talk about this one a lot. Be grateful for what you already have. Kind of like I mentioned just a few minutes ago. A lot of us have our health or a decent amount of health. We might be at 80% health. That's good. That's good. You could be at 40%. A lot of us have access to food, clothing, and shelter, even if the price is going up on some of those. But we have access to them. But instead of looking at those and being grateful for those, we want bigger, better, faster, prettier, more. We want it cheaper. Like there's always going to be something to grumble about. So like if you're not living in gratitude and you're not grateful for what you have, like there's always going to be something to grumble about. And while you're grumbling, you're not happy. You know what I mean? So the gratitude just shows that like it's not always what's going on or like what we got is how we look at it. No matter what's going on, there are things you can be grateful for. You can live in gratitude every single day. And the cool thing about gratitude is once you get used to it, once you get used to like living in gratitude and being grateful, like it just becomes a part of you. This just happened this morning. And I promise you, I didn't like orchestrate this to happen so I could mention this in the stream. It literally just happened. I went down, I threw some stuff in the trash in the dumpster, ran and grabbed my coffee. And when I was coming back and I got out of my car and I was like walking back into my apartment building and I kind of looked back at my car and I had like this wave of gratitude come over me because for many, many years, I didn't have a car. There was a time I couldn't afford a car, and then I was doing seasonal work. I didn't really need a car. Then I didn't really want a car. But 2020, bought a car. Actually, bought two cars. Different story. We sold one. But from not having a car for so many years, and doing laundry without a car, and going to the grocery store on a scooter or on a bus or walking, all these other things I had to do without a car. Even though for a while I didn't want a car, but like having lived so long without the car, I am so grateful now for my car. It's a 10, actually, it's more than that. It's like a 12-year-old Prius. It's nothing special, it's nothing fancy, but I love the car and I'm so grateful for it. There's a lot of people in that same situation with the same car would grumble all day long, and all they would do is look at other people's car. Oh, look at that Benz, look at that BMW, look at that. Oh, that person got a Prius, but it's a 2023. Same situation. But when you live in gratitude, no matter what it is, no matter what you don't have, no matter what you're going through, you realize there's always things you can be grateful for. And when you focus on those, you're happy. You just get this wave of happiness. And the cool thing about gratitude is it doesn't take anything extra. For a lot of people, for them to be happy, they need something new to come into their life, right? They need a new boyfriend, new girlfriend, new car, new clothes, new experience. When you're grateful, you're happy with the old stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you're grateful, you're happy with the old stuff. You're happy with what you got. Every single day you wake up, it's like, man, I'm so happy I had a bed to sleep in last night. I'm so happy that like I have an apartment with heat or with air or whatever. There's even people like living in their cars, grateful they have the car. Because they're like, if I wasn't living in my car, I'd be living on the street. I'm so grateful I got this car to live in. Now, when I get an apartment to live in again, I'll be grateful for that. That's the thing with gratitude. Like it goes along with you. When you're up, you're extremely grateful for being up. Even when you're down, you're extremely grateful for like that you're not even further down. Gratitude is just it's just there. It just is. And it gives you something to focus on instead of focusing on all the other negative stuff Or like even a lot of times we're like unhappy or down over stuff we don't even need. That's what's so crazy. We can have everything we need and be unhappy because we don't have stuff we don't need. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, but it feels so good. It feels so good when you live in gratitude, you know? Like when you live in gratitude, you can even envision, a lot of times we get all worked up in life because we envision like, oh, this might happen. We're so worried about bad things happening in the future, things that are going to cause us pain and suffering in the future. We get all worked up about it, right? When you live in gratitude, even if you imagine one of those situations, you also imagine like the gratitude. I say jokingly all the time when people are like, what if inflation goes up or there's food shortages and we can't buy food? I'm like, well, like, I'm going to be down there at the soup kitchen with the rest of y'all. I'm pre imagining being grateful for the soup kitchen. I'm pre imagining being grateful for like the good company, being able to hang out with y'all down at the soup kitchen. I'm already grateful. I'm already grateful. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, this gratitude thing, try it, folks. I know a lot of y'all, we're all on similar journeys. So I know a lot of y'all believe in gratitude. But if you haven't done it, ladies and gentlemen, trust me on this one. If you have not done it, trust me on this one. This is one. Why are all these notifications popping up on my computer? This is one that is game changing. Next time you find yourself down, or next time you find yourself comparing yourself to someone else, stop and ask yourself, like, what do I have to be grateful for? So many, and there's so many things, friends, family, loved ones, the possessions you have, the things you don't have, the things you don't have, your health, the diseases you don't have. You know what I mean? So many things. Like gratitude is like unlimited. When you tap into gratitude, there's always something to pull you back away from the dark negative side. Man, this is going on. Oh, I don't have that, but hey, I have this. This isn't going on. There's always something positive for you to reflect on, and that helps you. And like I said, once you get in the practice of doing it, it just becomes natural. It just becomes normal. You've talked with people who you might have been, talking about us, and like negative people hate this type of person. That's why I try to be this type of person. You've been talking to someone and everybody's discussing some current event that's going on or something. And there's that one person's like, well, I'm just glad that so-and-so, so-and-so. And everybody's like, come on, Sheila. Every time we get in a deep, juicy, gossipy, negative conversation, Sheila come and she say something about God blessing her or what she does have. You just can't be negative around Sheila. Be like Sheila. Sheila happy. Sheila's happy in them streets because it can become just like your natural. You just live in gratitude. You're always grateful. What I'm gonna be totally like, we still get down, you still get sad, but like you come out of it quickly when you go back to gratitude. You're just like, oh, hey, yeah, this might be going on, but at least this isn't going on, and I still have this. So yeah, love you too, Jennifer. Gratitude is a big one. Gratitude is a big one. That was number one. We are going to check that off our handy dandy list here. Gonna move on to another one. This one, number two, very powerful. And I've had discussions with a couple of my really close friends, and we're on the same page with this one. Another one that a few years ago didn't really, I won't say believe in, but just didn't. I don't know if I like the way this shirt's fitting. You wash these Target shirts 5-6 times, they lose that tightness. Before it was, now it's a little loose on you, boy. But I'm grateful to have the shirt. Number two, one of my second key to living a happy life is generosity. Generosity, the freely giving of your time and resources to help others. This one's a big one, folks. This one definitely is along the lines of you get what you give, you reap what you sow, what you put out, you get back. And I first realized this one when it came to like money. First realized this when it came to like money. One of the public speakers and I don't even know what else to call him. I don't want to call him a motivational speaker, but I guess you could. Jim Rohn, Jimrohn, Jim Rohn, someone I really enjoy listening to. Probably one of the first motivational speakers I ever listened to. And he talked about in one of his talks, I think it's called How to Live Your Best Life Ever. And he talked about like if you're going to tip somebody and two numbers come in your mind, tip the higher. He said, if it's between tipping a quarter and 50 cents, tip 50 cents. Now, this was in the 80s. Don't be out here tipping people no quarter, no 50 cents. You get punched in the face. Okay? You better off not tipping. But if you add in, cost of living and inflation, dollar, $2, $3, whatever, $10, whatever. But he was like, if you're gonna tip, two amounts come to your mind, tip the higher amount. And he was like, there's just something, their days made better, your days made better. And I remember when that hit me, I was like, you know what? I want to start tipping. It just sounded classy. Like he was up there in this really nice suit and giving this presentation. It sounded classy. So I want to be like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's classy. I want to start tipping better. And like since that moment, I've always tried to be a good tipper. And I'm going to pat myself on the back and say that, I think I am. But I noticed something, and it took some time, but I noticed that like the more generous I was with money, like the more money I seemed to have. The more I gave money away, the more money came back to me. And I've talked with other friends, like I said, and they said the same thing. The more they were open to like tipping more or just like helping people out when they needed money, or even this was crazy. And this is a weird form of generosity, but like the more I was generous with my money for myself, as far as doing things for me that like I really wanted to do, and I wasn't scared, the more I seemed to always have the money and have more money. And that's when it occurred to me. I was like, man, like I know a lot of people who are very tight, and we're going to get to time and other resources, but it's with money, it's easy to see. I know a lot of people, and think about it, the people the ones that are the most tight with money, and the ones that are like always like pinching, it's just like really never want to help anybody out, and they're super cheap. When they go out to dinner, they have any excuse to not tip. I mean, the people who just really tight hang out with the money. In my life, I noticed those people are usually like broke or worried about money. Whereas the people I know, and a lot of them don't always have to make all that much money, but the people I know that are generous and always willing to give their money to help others or to help other people out always seem to have money. I kind of have this saying that's like, hey, if you're down to your last $5, give away one of those dollars and see if you don't find 20, you know? And I've mentioned this on this channel before, and I've had people say like they heard me say that and they tried it out and they like tip somebody an extra dollar or two, and then they found $20 later that day. Little like literal stuff like that. But just in general, like something about generosity and something about, and I think it ties into with our next tip as well, but just something about being open to giving, you're more likely to receive. Time as well. Someone might need you to do something for them. You really don't want to do it. Someone needs you to help out. Really don't want to do it, but you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. Flip side of that, you might need help with something. There's someone there to help you. You break down on the side of the road. Someone pulls up beside you. Hey, you need some help? I'm a mechanic. Wow. You know what I mean? You go out of your way to help others. People you know, people you don't know. Somebody drops something, pick it up for them. You're behind the line with somebody and they're short $1. Hey, I got you. You paid $1 for them so they can get about, mainly so they can get about your way so you can get about the gas station. But help out. Like just in general, being generous. Being generous puts like love out into the world. And then also like you'll find, and this isn't why you do it. You do it because you feel like it's the right thing to do. Fake generosity don't work. But when you're a generous person and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to help my fellow man out, be it time, resources, a listening ear, whatever it is, you'll find that all that stuff comes back to you. And you're happy while you're, it's a great feeling. One of the reasons I love like donating to charity, because like it's a great feeling with no like negative back end. When you're giving freely to help others, there's like no negative back end. So many things in life we do, even some of the good stuff, there might be a little bit of a back end, a lot of things we do to like feel good or make ourselves feel better. Yeah. You never know. There's a small downside to a lot of it, or possibly could be something, you never know. When you're like giving to others, it's like all good. It's all upside. There's nothing bad that comes from giving to charity. It's just a great feeling you get. This feeling of just like happiness and joy, knowing that like, hey, I'm helping my fellow man. I'm not just on this planet looking out for me. I'm helping my fellow man. And then the happiness is like double when someone helps you. We're all going to need help at one time or the other. Why not be the help you're going to need? You know, they say, be the change you want to see. I saw that on the back of a police car. It was like, be the change you want to see. Now hiring. I'm like, that's stretching it. I'm like, that's stretching it. I got a lot of friends that are cops and things like that. Shout out to all my law enforcement people. But I'm like, oh, that's kind of just be the change you want to be, become a cop. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to be the change at the house. I'm trying to be the change without getting shot at. But yeah, generosity, man. If it's not something you've been practicing, I promise you, your happiness level will go up so much just being like over generous, being generous beyond your normal level of generosity. Promise you, happiness level goes up. It's amazing. I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff, man, you know, because we weren't taught this in school. You know, a lot of this no one ever sat down and told us. And it's not really that hard to do. And it feels really good. Super simple. Incorporate these in your life. It leads to a happier life. All of these boosting our happiness level up. Tim, why are you laughing and joking so much all the time? You're smiling. What is it? I do these steps. I'm grateful. I'm generous. And number 3, this one I talk about a lot, so we won't go too much into it. I actually have a whole stream about it. I did just last week. Number 3 is abundance mindset. Number 3 is you have to believe that the universe is abundant and like anything is possible. A lot of the reasons people are down, they're depressed, they're unhappy. Now, I do want to say sometimes depression is a chemical imbalance, something else. But a big reason why a lot of people are down, it's not actual depression, they're just kind of down, is they just have a scarcity mindset in life. And they just really have told themselves, with no real data to back it up, that certain things are not going to happen for them. Naywao, thank you, Super Chat Squad. Super Chat Squad, thank you. Coming through with the pounds, the international Super Chat Squad. Thank you. Good to see you. So there's more happiness in giving than in receiving. Exactly. Generosity, right? That's an example of generosity right there. By the way, folks, real quick before we move on, another example of generosity, if you want to, would be hitting the like button. If you want to, you don't have to, but I'd appreciate that. It helped the stream out. And thank you, Naywal. It was good to see you. Thanks again for the support. I really appreciate it. And abundance mindset, number 3. A lot of times the issues we're having in life come from the fact that we've told ourselves certain things will not happen for us because we have a scarcity mindset. Other people can do that. That kind of thing happens to other people. Other people can achieve that, acquire that. I can never do that because you have a scarcity mindset. Thank you all for hitting the like button. Very generous. Thank you. When you incorporate an abundance mindset, and the good news is it's free, folks. It don't cost you no money. You don't have to go down to Costco and buy a pallet of abundance to get an abundance mindset. Abundance mindset is free. You just have to tell yourself, okay, there's actually like no data supporting the fact that like I can't have what I want in life or I can't do what I want in life. Only thing supporting that is like the negative programming that other people in society has given me throughout my whole life. I'm not going to tap into that anymore. I look around me. I see all sorts of beautiful, wonderful, awesome stuff going on. Lots of other human beings doing all kinds of awesome, cool stuff. I'm going to do some of that too. The universe is abundant. It's all just energy, folks. It's all just energy, right? And we see so many examples of energy doing amazing things. Why can't it do for you or for me the amazing stuff I want it to do? It's all just energy. We take it so serious. Oh, no, that's not. You hear people all the time. Oh, that's not the way life is. Why not? If it's not the way it is now, why can't we change it? Bro, it's like abundant. It's all just energy. We just have to figure out ways to manipulate the energy to get the life you want, which I personally believe we're all tapped into divine energy. I believe this up here is the most powerful force on the planet, in the universe, or one of the most powerful forces for manipulating the energy is right up here. You have that abundance mindset, man, and you just believe. I'm telling you, your happiness, because you start seeing it work. You start seeing the abundance mindset work, man, you get so happy because then like the you know what I mean? The gloves come off. You know what I mean? Then like the doors, the doors open. You know what I mean? You start seeing not just a light at the end of the tunnel, it gets bright down there. You know what I mean? Like when you start seeing the abundance mindset work and things coming into your life, you get hype. You're just like, wow, like, bro, like, really? Really? The shackles come off. Before you were living in just this little box of reality that other people told you. When you start living with the abundance mindset, you start seeing things happen to you that you previously didn't think could happen. You're like, oh, snap. Like, are we really about to make some moves now? You know how happy you get when the abundance mindset really sets in. So that's one of my big tips. I probably really only got on that train, the abundance mindset train, in the past couple of years, but there have been major changes in my life since then. So that's a big one. That's a big one. Trenton, I see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate the love. Thank you, Trenton. Super Chat Squad in the building. Super Chat Train. Choo choo. Thank you, Trenton. I appreciate that support. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you like the sobriety videos, Trenton. That's awesome. We got one, I believe, coming up this week. One of our streams is on sobriety. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Number four. Number four, and I really want to talk about this one because it's a topic we talk about a lot on this channel. Number four, one of the keys to a happy life is finding fulfilling work. And I put in parentheses passion. Okay. Actually, that parentheses comes up, the passion comes up in another one as well. But finding fulfilling work, possibly it's really cool if you can make your passion your work. And I talk about this a lot, but I have to break this down because people still get it wrong. People still get it wrong. There is a difference between work and a job. The two can be the same, but there's a difference. Your job can be your fulfilling work, but there's other ways to, you could come up with fulfilling work on your own that pays the bills. You know what I mean? Our ancestors worked, but they didn't have jobs. I love to bring that up. Back in the day, our ancestors just went out and caught the food they needed. They cut down trees to build the house they needed. The animals they killed, they used the skins to build clothes. All the things they needed, they just went out and got it. That was fulfilling work. It wasn't a job, though. And I think it's important to dwell on that because I think we think work and job the same thing. And I think we just have a warped view of it. And I think sometimes, getting that understanding of, it's really about finding something to do to pass the time. And for our ancestors, they had, the work they had was survival. We live in a system now where you go to a job and make money, and hopefully you make enough money to buy the things you need to survive. And we kind of think, hey, as long as I make enough money to buy the things I need to survive, it's fulfilling, but it's not. In a lot of cases, it's not. And that's why people are miserable at their jobs. You need to find something to do that is fulfilling to you, that means something to you. Just like when you went out and you hunted and your ancestors went out and they hunted and they brought the food back to the family, it meant something. Go out, you kill a bison, you bring it home. That look in your children's eyes and your family members' eyes, your parents' eyes, as everybody's eating and all that, that's fulfilling. And you can kind of still get some of that, when you go to work and make money and come home and, go to the grocery store, buy groceries and feed the kids. But I think it's different. I don't think it's that same level of fulfillment. I think we need something in our life, some type of fulfilling work, something we're doing. And you could have a job and then after your job, do some fulfilling work. Your fulfilling work could be volunteering on the weekends at the homeless shelter or something like that. But I think we all need something in our life, and it's cool if it's our passion. We all need something in our life that gives us a sense of yes, you know what I mean? Just gives us that feeling of I really enjoy doing this. This means something to me. And for a lot of people, they don't get that at their job, but they think that they don't, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people don't realize that they need fulfillment through work. I think we do. I think we need to be doing something with our time that brings us fulfillment. And that is a great way to be happy. And it doesn't have to be tied with money. If you can find a job that is fulfilling to you and you can kill both those birds with one stone, cool. This is something else I wish they preached in school. Instead of being like, go to school so you can get a good job, I wish they would say, like, hey, let's brainstorm for these 13 years we have you in public school. Let's brainstorm what would be a fulfilling job or career for you. And then I also wish that, like, when you got high school, instead of them making you sit in these classes and learn absolutely nothing that you'll ever need again, that they would let you, as they do in some countries, that they would let you go like intern or apprentice at these places. You think this would be a fulfilling career for you? Your whole 10th grade, you're going to go down there and work part time, see if you like it. If you do, we'll keep training you. If you don't, 11th grade, you go somewhere else. But we want you to find something that's fulfilling to you, that you enjoy. I think that's one of the biggest keys to happiness. In our modern society, we spend like a majority of our time on the job. And if that job isn't fulfilling you and you don't have nothing else going on, hard to have a happy life. If you're spending 40 hours a week at the job and then another 10 commuting to the job and then another 5 getting ready to go to the job and another 3 worrying about the job, actually probably like another 15 worrying about the job on the weekends, and the job's not fulfilling you, and you don't have nothing else going on that's fulfilling you, hard to have a happy life. I think we really need to, me personally, when people are like, oh, what's the purpose of life? That's a question I never try to engage in. I'm more concerned with passions. I'm always like, hey, if you don't know what your purpose is, figure out something you like doing, figure out a passion, do that. If you can turn that passion into a way to pay the bills, into a job, or if you just work at it, maybe side hustle with it, or maybe just work at it to do it, that's happiness there. Your passion makes you happy. But I think the conversation around fulfilling work is one that we're all worried about money. What's the job that makes the most money? You'll notice money is not on this list. Money is not one of the keys to a happy life. Will money help you to get, the bare necessities and the creature comforts? Yes. Money is not on this list. Fulfilling work is on this list. And a lot of people never sit down and ask themselves what type of work would bring fulfillment. Or if they do, they don't have the abundance mindset to believe that they could ever do that in their life. It's crazy. Moving on. Number 4. That's a big one. Oh, here's another one. Here's another good one. This is a good list. If I may say so myself. Number 5, love. I think love is one of the keys to a happy life. And it's not just giving love, but also receiving love. I think that's big. It's not just giving love, but it's also being open to receiving love and feeling like you're worthy of being loved. That's a big one. I think a lot of us are open to like loving somebody. I'm always giving my friends flowers. I love my friends. They're the best people in the world. I'm so blessed and grateful to have them in my life. But I have to be equally as open to accepting their love for me. A lot of times we're good at giving the love out. Sometimes we're not good at that. Some people struggle with that. But a lot of us, we're good at giving the love out. But then it's hard for us to like receive that love or even just believe that we can be loved on that level even before it shows up. I think a lot of times the reason we don't have the love we want in our life is because we've put up walls because we don't believe that like we're worthy of that type of love. We want to get happy, want to live a happy life. We have to freely give love and also be willing to accept love. Love's out there. Love is out there. Also, I think one of the conversations we have to have is that it doesn't always have to be romantic love, people. It ain't got to always be romantic love. There's lots of love out there, and we pass it over because we're trying to find a mate. Most of the love you will get in life will not come from someone you're dating. Let's run that back. Some of y'all missed that. Most of the love we get in life will not come from people we're dating or married to, because that's typically only going to be one person at a time. Maybe some of y'all 3, 4, 5 people at a time, but still, typically, you're only going to be dating one person at a time, whereas you might have 5 friends, 7 family members, some really close coworkers. Dating one person interacting with another 15 who might have differing levels of love for you. But a lot of times we overlook all that because of romantic love. A lot of single people miserable and down, and all they do is sit around on dating apps or go to bars because they're looking for like romantic love. Meanwhile, you got all this other love around you. Tap into that. I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people's like, Tim, you don't get lonely. It's like, nah, bro, I got too many friends. I'll be feeling bad that like I don't spend enough time with my friends. I'll be feeling bad that I don't call my friends enough. I don't go out to eat with them because I'm an introvert. So a lot of times I'm in my own little zone. But I'm like, I don't have time to feel lonely when like I don't feel like I'm being as good a friend as I can be. I got too much like other love. It'd be a slap in the. It's like like if I was sitting around like, oh man, I'm so lonely. Why God ain't sent me nobody? That's a slap in the face to all the people, the universe, God has sent me. We got to get over this idea that like romantic love is the only true love. Like, you know what I mean? Look at like this was crazy to me. You might have had a best friend. This is kind of a tangent, but we're going in. You might have had a best friend who you've known since like third grade. Y'all learned how to like do long division together. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You knew you met this person, but you didn't even know how to do real math. You didn't even know what an adverb was. Y'all done known each other. Y'all done been through the mud. This one of your day ones. And then you meet somebody 20 years from now, and we act like that love is more important. I turn 25 and meet somebody. And yeah, we have something, it's a thing. We act like suddenly, like 3 months after we meet, that love is more important than this person you've known for 25 years. Oh, that's real love. She's the one. What are you talking about? This is craziness to me. Now, over time, can you develop that same love and that same bond for that person you're dating? Yes. But at the end of the day, love is love. The only difference is some people you have sex with, some people you don't. Let's talk about this. That is crazy to me. How people will have best friends they've known forever and they'll be like, man, I'm lonely. Why can't I find nobody? You didn't have to. We got to change our views on romantic love. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That was kind of a tangent there. But I think it falls in line with receiving love and like being grateful. All these keys go together. Being grateful for the love you already have, but being willing to give out love. A lot of these people have been in our lives for so long. You know what I mean? Instead of us trying to hold on to our love for one person, the one, our soulmate, we need to be giving that love out to these people. They've been in our life decades. We live in a world that sadly is, full steam ahead on the hate train. And I get it because like hate is easy. If you're somebody who looks at the world, and a lot of people turn to hate because they're just like, they don't like what they see. It's crazy. But a lot of people turn to hate because they don't like what they see in the world. And since they can't figure out a way to change it, they have to play the blame game. And then you start hating someone else. It becomes us versus them. They're the reason why this is bad. And then it just like snowballs. Or a lot of people turn to hate because like that person, has done that. You see a person over here who, you're there, them. So that person, is spewing hate in your direction. And it's not a good feeling to be hated on. So they throw hate back. But like hate never conquered hate. Love can conquer hate. Love can grow more love. Love is the answer. Hate never makes anything better. It only makes things worse. So not only do I think it's about love and like, relationships and friendships, and being the best friend or partner we can in those situations, but I think it's also about like societal love and just like deciding one day that like I don't care how that person or that group of people views me, I'm going to love them. One of the best things I ever started saying in my life is I love everybody. And like it's crazy. Sometimes I'll be in a situation where someone's acting a little whatever, and I'm feeling some type of animosity or whatever, and then I might go to that screw him, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, Tim, wait, you love that person. I may not like what you're about or what you're doing or your message or your beliefs, but I still love you. I love everybody. I have to. And that also makes it easier to like A, get along with people and be more sympathetic and empathetic to people when you love them. You could be the most evil person on this planet, but I love you because I have to, because I love everybody. And that makes me go to the next step of, I wonder why this person's so evil. Were these evil things done to them as a child and that's all they know? Have they never really known love? Well, is there any way I can show some type of little bit of love to this person? Because I mean, I've never known it. They may not know. Maybe me just like not doing exactly what anyone else would do in the situation and giving the hate back to this person will be the one thing that makes them go, that's weird. What was that guy like? That guy acts like he still cared about me. What's that about? But that might be the chink in the armor, the kink, you know what I mean? That might be the crack in the foundation that gets them thinking, and you never know. 10 years from now, that person might be a love warrior like the rest of us. Big believer in love, man. Big believer in love. Like I think love is one of the building blocks of the universe. Like love conquers all. The holy books say that. Love conquers all. The holy books also say God is love, basically saying like that which is love. Like, come on. That's a powerful verse. Like, I think we don't even realize how powerful it is to say that love is equal to that which is. Love is all there is. You hear it everywhere. All the good songs, all the holy books, even in the bad songs, even in the dirty songs, they talk about love. Okay, moving on. Number six. Number six. We are down to number six. First five were gratitude, generosity, abundance mindset, fulfilling work, love. Now, finding peace, living in the present moment. This one is a big one, but I think it might be one of the harder ones on the list to achieve. And y'all know I love to recommend reading. So two books that really helped me with this, and I've talked about these before, and as always, link in the description box. Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by David R. Hawkins, and The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer. Some of y'all have picked these up, read them off of my recommendation, really love them. Some of y'all read them before I even read them. But these are two really good books when it comes to finding peace, living in the present moment, letting go of a lot of things we've been holding on to. Bruh, and this is one that's, for me, it's hard to talk about finding peace. We can touch on like living in the present moment. But like finding peace, I feel like that comes from putting in the work. I don't know if in a few sentences you can tell someone how to find peace. I think it could be a lifelong pursuit. But living in the present, I know for me, I think like most people, for much of my life, I dwelled in the past. I was kind of living in the past, hanging on to the past, bringing the past, just dwelling on things that happened and wishing I could change them and all this other stuff. Or I was daydreaming about the future. Hey, I wish that hadn't happened in the past. Wish I hadn't done that. But wait until blah, 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 blah. And there's nothing wrong with like looking back at the past and learning from it, or just reminiscing on things that happened in the past. But it's the dwelling in the past that's a problem, especially when we typically dwell on the negative stuff. How often do we really bring up the good stuff that happened in our past? Every now and then. But if you ever like remembered something that happened in your past, you was like, oh snap, I forgot that even happened. The negative stuff, you remember all of that, right? And also, there's nothing wrong with like planning for the future. I got goals, I got dreams, things I want to achieve, want to accomplish. But when like your whole life is just like the future, the future, the future, the future, the future. If you're never in the present moment, well, then you're never really living, because life is always lived in this moment right now. This moment right now is life, and it just keeps moving. But like if you're always down about the past or hyped about the future and you're never in this moment, you're never going to live. You're never actually living. You got to be in the present to enjoy the present. You can't really be happy with your life if you're never living it. If you're always in some other time period of your life, you can't get really happy. You can't find peace. You got to be in this moment right now, living this moment, appreciating this moment, being grateful for this moment, realizing this moment is abundant. Now, you can definitely use this moment to work through some baggage or some issues you had in the past, or to like do some things that'll set you up for the future. But the moment is important. Fixing the past is a byproduct of this moment. Setting yourself up for something in the future, byproduct of this moment. The beauty is this moment right here. But so often, like we're never in the moment. How often do we just sit and like enjoy a moment? You want to know how hard it is to live in the present moment? You want to know how hard it is to live in the present moment? Next time you go to take you a Dumpski McGee in the little boys or little girls room, next time you go to little boys or little girls room, don't take your phone, a book, a magazine, nothing in there with you. Go in there solo. Don't bring any type of distraction with you next time you go to take a little Dumpski McGee in the little boy, little girls room. And that 4 or 5 minutes will be the longest 4 or 5 minutes in your life, because we're not used to just like sitting in the present moment with ourselves, no distractions. Try it. Some of y'all won't make it. Some of y'all gonna have to pinch off, run and get your phone, come back in there, finish off. Some of y'all will not make it. That 10 minutes will be too long. You can't sit with yourself that long. When you learn to be able to just like sit with yourself, be in the moment, enjoy the moment for what it is, you'll never get this moment back again. I was thinking about this the other day. Even when we're going through things that are causing us pain, it's a moment we'll never get back again. Okay, so like I might be in this present moment and I might be going through some type of, health scare or financial difficulty. I will never be Timothy Ward, 42 years old, living in Denver, going through whatever situation that is ever again. So there's a learning experience happening. There's something I can glean from this moment. There's an experience I'm happening I will never have again. So even if it's not an experience I would have signed up for, it's happening, and I need to be in the moment to like learn from it, to experience it. Because who knows if down the line that might not be something I went through to help me with something in the future, or it might help me with key number 2 to give of my time and expertise to someone else who goes through a similar situation, because I was present in that moment and I gleaned everything I could from that situation when it happened to me. So now I can help a friend, my nephew, cousin. No matter what we're going through, good, bad, ugly, unspeakable, like it's a moment we'll never have again. So it's like on some levels, instead of all like, yeah, if you're going through something, be like, man, I can't wait for this to be over. You're telling yourself this too shall pass. I can't wait till it passes. But it's like, while I'm in this moment, let me embrace it and like appreciate it for everything that it is. Let me appreciate this pain. Let me appreciate this pain and all these emotions and everything that's going on, because I'm never going to have this again. Sometimes that's a good thing. But also, definitely, if we're in situations, there's times we're in situations, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a beautiful situation, present moment, and we're not present. We're not present. Social media has really helped with this, because a lot of times, instead of being present in a moment, we're too busy trying to like capture the moment, which is basically living in the future, because you're trying to capture the moment to put it on social media so you'll get likes, get comments. So that's basically living in the future. I have to like check myself on this. I've gotten better with this. That it used to be when I went on vacation, I felt very like obligated to like document everything, get some good video up, get some good footage. These days, if I feel like it, I feel like it. If I don't, I don't. Tim, you paid all this money to fly out here, and you need to be in this present moment. You might just be walking down the street to go get you a coffee, but you're doing it in a different city enjoy that as opposed to looking around to try to find the best angle for your next walk and talk. You got to live in the moment, man. It's all we got. You can go through life never having really lived. And living in the moment, I think, lends itself to finding peace. Because, like, you start to realize, oh, like, it's all just a series of moments. So I really don't have to worry about a lot of this other stuff. Because if it's not happening in this moment, it's not a big deal. And when it does happen, I will figure it out in that moment. That's why a lot of times when people are like, what do you think about this? What if this happens to you? What if this happens to you? What if this happens to you? I'm not worried about it because it's not happening in this moment. And when it happens in that moment, if it ever happens, I'll figure out what to do then. All I have to worry about is each moment. I don't have to look 10 years in the future, try to figure my life out. I can let go. Oh, wow. What was that? Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Oh, I got all kinds of receipts and stuff flying. I can let go. And these books definitely go a lot deeper into living in the present, finding peace, letting go of emotions, and I mean, that I tell you, that's one of those. If you haven't read that book, pick it up, and read it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really good book. But yeah, I think finding peace is a lifelong task. I think it's one of those things too that if it takes you 80 years and then you find peace, it's still worth it. That's something I'm still working on. I'm becoming more at peace. And the universe has a sense of humor. So when I do find a certain level of peace, it likes to throw something at me to make me have to like work myself back up to that level. I'll be at a level of peace and I'm like, and then it'll throw something at me and my peace goes down here and I got to work back up on it. The universe has a sense of humor. Once you realize that too, it's fun. But yes, I'm dropping all kinds of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on. That was number 6, finding peace. Number 7, and this is kind of ties in with number 4, hobbies. And like I said, parentheses, passion. I think you really have to have some hobbies in life, some things you do just to do. Number 4 was like fulfilling work. Your passion could be involved in that. You can turn a hobby into work, into a money-making engine. But I think just having some hobbies, some things you do just to do them is important, especially to us. If you were to tell people this a few hundred years ago, they'd be like, of course. But us, we think everything has to have a purpose, typically revolving around money. In a very like hustle-oriented culture. And it sounds crazy, but like everything we do is either about money or about like likes. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about making some money or putting it on the ground. Sometimes I think it's important to just do stuff just to do it, just because you love doing it. For example, here it comes. Here it comes. I got to bring this up. I'm contractually obligated, not really, to bring this up every single stream. For example, one of my hobbies is I love WNBA basketball. I love WNBA basketball. Watching it is a hobby. I never thought I'd be a sports guy, and I still don't think I am. I love watching the WNBA basketball. I was thinking today, people are always like, if you had one possession you couldn't live without, what would it be? I don't have one. Like any possession I have, I can live without. However, I did realize this morning, if you took away my WNBA league pass, so I couldn't watch all the games, I'd probably pout for a while. It's a hobby. I love watching it. I keep saying I might start a podcast about it. I might one day. But I love just having something I do purely. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to close the door. I didn't want. Anyway, I love having something I do purely for the joy of it. Purely for the joy of it. Takes my mind off other things that are going on. I'm telling y'all don't. If you want to see happiness, let Sophie Cunningham jack up like 2 threes in a row. I lose my mind. Just discovered it last year. Anyway, the point is, I think just having something that you do, maybe no one else does it, This day and age, you got the internet, so you can find a group of people who do it probably. But just having something you do that you just enjoy doing it, and you do it just for the enjoyment. Nothing else. Just doing it makes you happy. I think that's important. I think that's important because I think it's like an outlet, you know. Especially these days, we live in this culture where everything has to mean something and everything has to. Blah, blah, why are you doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Bro, just have something you do that you just love to do. I just like doing it. Why? I don't even know. You don't even have to know. People ask you, why do you like that? I don't know why I like it. I just enjoy it. Hey, I like that. D Jackson said, listening to your videos. I'll take that. I'll take that. I just enjoy doing it. You know, if you have to explain your hobby, I don't know if it's a hobby, right? If you if you can explain, well, actually, the reason why I find so much enjoyment out of horticulture is because of the, if you can explain your hobby, I don't know if it's really a hobby. I just like to do it. It's fun. It brings me joy. I think we need that. If you don't have one, find one. Seriously, I'm telling you. And hobby with the lid off. You know, don't go try to find a hobby that your boys or your girl, your girls do. Just find, you know, we all like. I always say, like, look back to childhood. What is some stuff you did in childhood that like you just really like to do? And it may not be the same exact thing, but you know, an adult version of that. If you really liked Legos as a kid, hey, there's nothing wrong with being a grown man playing with Legos. If you still want to play with Legos, go for it. They done got a little pricey. Legos used to be cheap, a little pricey with them little blocks. But like, you can be a grown man collecting, like, I don't care. You know, but just maybe you want to find an adult version of that, or like just find something you do just to do it. Doesn't have to mean anything. Just brings you joy because it'll make you happy. I'm telling you. And a lot of times that will make some of the other things you may have to do in life that are not as enjoyable, it will make them bearable. Because you're like, man, if I can just get through this week, this weekend come along, I get to go down in the basement, play with my train set. I don't know why I'm coming up with these these crazy. I don't know why I'm coming up with these crazy hobbies. Actually, that's not crazy. Oh, a lot of people liking the Legos. Oh, Connects, not the Legos. Okay, Connects is probably expensive too. Moving on. Moving on. Another one of my favorite topics to talk about. Another one that I really, spend a lot of time talking on. Actually, the next two are ones I talk about a lot that maybe a lot of people don't. Number 8. We're on tip number 8 for a happy life. Embracing the non-serious nature of life. Embracing the non-serious nature of life. I say this all the time. Life is a game. It is not serious. No one can prove to me that is serious. People try to refute this. People try to argue with me about this, and they bring up things that cause pain and suffering. Just because there's pain in life doesn't mean it's serious. Just because I break my arm doesn't make life serious. I just broke my arm. It just is what it is. Life is not serious. Why would it be serious? Like, what makes life serious? It ends. Maybe if we lived forever, life would be serious. Because like the things that like I do now would affect me forever. But like this thing, and this goes into the second point, but like life's not serious. It ends. We all know this. You're here for a few years, you're gone. Like, why would it ever be serious? Sometimes it's painful, yes, but that doesn't mean it's serious. This idea that you have to like hold on to life and do everything right and get everything just the way. No, it's a game. Have fun. Experience. It's an experience. Just all you got to do is get from womb to tomb. It doesn't have to be serious. You could laugh and giggle and joke every day of your life. I promise you, you will come out ahead from the people who are super serious and like just hold on to life and have to achieve certain things. Then people have ulcers. The people have strokes. Those people lose their gallbladders. I don't even know. Do we still have gallbladders? Is that a thing? Is that human? Okay. Life ain't serious. And I wish I could explain this better. This is one of those things. It's almost like a feeling. Once you get it, you're like, oh, you're right. Like, because we're taught to just believe like life is so serious, right? Once you get it, and once you realize like that it's not, you're just like, wait a second. Yeah, why am I just holding on to life and feeling like I have to do certain things and like it has to go a certain way? And I can't even put into words, but it's just this feeling, this view we're just kind of taught about life. I think it comes from the fact that our whole life people have told us, you better do this so you can do this. You better do this, you can do this. No one's ever like, hey, just live, do whatever. Womb to tomb, womb to tomb, 0 to 80, whatever. The eventuality is all the same. There's good times, there are bad times. None of them are serious. Just sometimes you're enjoying yourself more than others. Once again, this is one of those things. It's a very like feeling. I wish I was better at explaining it. Alan Watts actually like listening to a lot of his stuff is what allowed me to be like, oh, I get it now. But once I got it, I'm like, yeah, like what? Why am I spending all this time worrying about people's opinions? What does that even mean? They're gonna be dead too. It's not serious, but it's a game. Just play it how you want to play it. Like it's not like, in my opinion, anything happens at the end of it based on how you played it. I personally believe like you get your rewards for the game, you get in-game rewards. You get your rewards for the game in the game. I live my life a certain way and try to be what I think is a good person because I think it's the right thing to do. It's not serious though. I honestly don't feel. I feel like if I woke up tomorrow and wanted to be a totally different person, wouldn't make any difference. I would hope that would never happen, but like it's not serious. And like when you don't view life as so serious, this goes back to point number 5 where we're talking about love and hate. Like when you're not so serious about life, you don't care if other people play the game differently. Now, do I want people to play the game in a manner that causes other people pain and suffering? No, but some people do. But especially stuff that people choose to do in their lives or live their life a certain way that isn't bothering anybody, let them do it. Like it's a game. Like why are we getting so worked up about this stuff? We out in the street marching and press, bro. A lot of this stuff, it just is what it is. It's a game. Like prove to me that life is serious. No one can. I promise you. All they point to is either like religion or pain and suffering. Life has to be. So you're saying that like people suffering from XYZ, it's not serious? No, it's just suffering. Me being happy isn't serious. It's just happiness. It just is isness. It doesn't make it total super error. Hard to explain this one, but if you ever get it, you'll get it. Moving on to number 9, and this one is kind of tied in with the last one, and I kind of touched on it already. Um, my tip number 9. We're almost at the end, folks. Then we'll get into a little Q&A. My tip number 9 is accepting your mortality. This has been one of the things that is like just allowed me to just breathe so much easier, to just find peace. All this ends, ladies and gentlemen. It all ends. Well, all I got to do is get to the end. And here's the thing, there's no way I cannot get to the end. You have to live until you die. So no matter what, I win. If I die tomorrow, I win. I got to the end. It's the easiest game. It's the easiest game ever to play. You keep playing till you win. Nobody loses. Everybody wins. Those are the rules. All you have to really do is pass the time from birth to death in whatever manner you or I see fit. I don't have to do it the way everybody else says I have to do it. Because guess what? They're going to all die too, so all their opinions are going to be gone too. It's just a game that you play for as long as you're here to play it. Endure what can't be cured. Be as happy as possible. Be as free as possible. Enjoy yourself. Learn from the experience. Learn from the journey. Embrace the mortality. Death is just a part of life. It's always been crazy to me that, like, we all know this ride ends, but like a lot of times we live like it's not going to, and we don't want to think about it ending. I think it's one of the most freeing thoughts. If we live forever, bruh, come on. Had to deal with all this stuff we deal with that we don't like, that causes us pain and suffering forever? Come on. Life is amazing. I love it. Not sure if I'd want to do it forever in this form. I kind of want to take a break and become a moonbeam over the planet Zarthon. Do that for a while. Come back as a cedar tree. Do that for a while. Come back as a dodo bird. Do that for a while. Before you say, Tim, dodo birds are extinct, time isn't linear, so you could come back as something that's in the past. Anyway, in my opinion, it ends. No mistakes you make in this life are permanent. Can you imagine if you make a mistake and then it's permanent because you live forever? No, it ends. That's the beauty of it. Come here, do whatever you want, then it's over. Wow, it took the bots a while to come in this time. Come in, do whatever you want, play the game however you want, then it's over. You start over somewhere else. Why is that a bad thing? I know a lot of people, don't like the thought of non-existence. I personally don't think there is such thing as non-existence because it's all energy, and like energy just is. But I like to think about, hey, before I awoke as Timothy Ward, where was I? Well, that's where I'm going to go back when this is over. I don't sit around sweating about, man, before I was born, what was happening? No. So I don't need to sit around sweating about what's going to happen when I die. Like, will I miss my friends and family and all of y'all? Sure. But like, we might see each other again. Plus, when you're dead, you don't know you miss somebody. Like, I'll miss the thought of missing people will bother me as I'm dying. However long the process of actual dying is, like a day, 2 days, whatever, 5 minutes, in that moment, I'll be like, oh man, I'm going to miss my friends and family. Then it's all over. So why even worry about it now? I just think, embracing our mortality and just realizing all this is temporary is one of the freest things, one of the best ways to like free ourselves, find peace, just be happy. Like, I can be happy every day. None of this matters. This is another one. When I try to talk about it, I just start laughing. I just start laughing because like it's so freeing. Do I want to die a painful death? No, but like, hey, it'll be a learning experience if it happens. I think sometimes this one takes a while to get to, but once you get there, you're there. Once you these last two, embracing that life is a game and accepting your mortality, once you get to those, they can't do nothing to you. Once you get to those and you like really latch on and understand and feel those two like in your soul, they can't do nothing to you. What are they gonna do? I've embraced the fact that I'm gonna die. You really think your opinion matters to me? If you're someone who, like, there's some people whose opinions really matter to me, it always will. But if the average person who I don't even know, you think your rules on how I should live my life matter to me? You think your ideals about what I do and how I do it matter to me? Are you kidding me? This thing, it's gonna be over soon. It's like 80 years, 90 years tops. I'm gonna spend it worrying about people I'm never gonna come on. Like, they can't, I'm telling you, they can't do nothing to you once you get there. Life gets a lot easier and you're a lot happier because you don't have all this excess worry baggage going on. You don't have all this excess worry baggage going on because it's a game. It ends. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our final one, number 10. We threw this in there because I think this is an important one. And I think maybe this one you have to cultivate to get to all the other ones. Number 10 is to think for yourself. I don't think that you're going to achieve happiness. I don't think you're going to be as happy as you can be. I don't think you're going to have a happy life unless you start thinking for yourself. Unless we think for ourselves and realize that like each one of us is different, unique, has a different perspective. I personally believe we all have a different reality. You can't find happiness living someone else's life, or you can't find true happiness or the amount of happiness you might could have living someone else's life, thinking like everyone else, following the program. Because the programming is not set up to make you happy. It is set up for the happiness level of the people who wrote the code. The people who coded the matrix set it up for their benefit, their happiness, not yours, not mine. If you're out here just thinking and going along with what everybody else is saying and doing, you're not going to be as happy as you could be because you're different. We're all different. You got to think for yourself. You got to design, create, and live in your own reality. Then you can be as happy as possible. It comes down to like asking ourselves, like all these decisions we make in life, definitely the big ones, but also even a lot of the small ones. Is this what I want to do? Why am I doing this? It's not what I want to do. Well, what do I want to do? And then acting upon that. You can't just think about it and be like, nah, if it was up to me, I really would be doing this over here and then not go do this over there. You got to think for yourself and then act on those thoughts. I think that is one of the most powerful ways to like be happy because like, deep down inside, you know it's going to make you happy. I think so. I think when people are like, I just don't know what I want to do. I don't know what would make me happy. I think it's masked. I think it's buried. But if we start, unlearning some of this programming, start getting some of this other stuff out of the way, I think we can find it. We can find our joy, find our passion, find the things we really want to do in this life. And then if we act upon what we find, that's where the happiness lies. That's the sweet spot. But you can't just go through life believing what everybody else believes. That's one of the reasons I'm a big believer in travel, because when you travel around different places, even within the same country, you come in contact with like different viewpoints, different cultures, different, views. And then you're like, wait a second, all these people here believe this way. And you'll look at it like it's crazy because it's different from what you think. I come here, everybody believes like this. That's crazy. But then you're like, wait a second, back home, everybody believes like that. And I believe like that. Wow. Like I believe that just because they all believe that back home, just like these people all believe that over here. And you're like, wait a second, they come to where I'm at, they think I'm crazy. Just like I think they're crazy. Wait, we're all crazy. We're both crazy. I think travel's really taught me to like expand my horizons and be like, oh, a lot, you see that a lot of what people believe is based on where they're from, who they grew up around. And it's like, I don't want to live my life just like thinking like everybody else around me. Because a lot of them, I'm from Florida. So, like, when I go back, shout out to my people in Florida. There's some truly brilliant, amazing, awesome people down in Florida. But as with every region, you get there's some thought patterns down there that, because I'm from North Florida. So, I spent a lot of time in North Florida. So there's some thought patterns down there, boy, that it's like, wow, can't be me. Now I will warn you. I will warn you. You start thinking for yourself. You go back home. It's rough. They look at you like you're crazy. But this goes back to, once you understand life isn't serious, it's not a big deal that people look at you like you're crazy. Why does it matter? No one has to get what I do, how I live my life, why I live my life a certain way. It really doesn't matter. I'm just trying to pass the time, enjoy myself, learn. People don't have to get it. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make sense to me. Honestly, it doesn't even have to make sense to me. It just has to like feel like the right thing to do. That's one thing too. Sidebar. I think we spend too much time trying to like figure life out instead of just like living. That's why I never talk about like the purpose of life. I just live. Like like do you like I think that's the weirdest question. What's the purpose of life? To live. Like, how would you ever know if you got it right? How would you ever know if you got your purpose in life right? I would imagine people would argue, well, it will feel right. Well, then just do things that feel right. Like what it just I don't know. Like it just seems like it's just live, bro. Like you don't have to spend all this time trying to figure life out. Like the created can never figure itself out. Like nothing can ever figure itself out. You have to be a level up to figure out the level down. Nothing in this world can figure itself out. You can figure out the level below you, but you can never figure yourself out. So I don't know why we try to like figure out life, human existence. Like, nah, just enjoy it, embrace it. I don't need to figure it out. That sounds boring. That does not sound like a passion. If that is your passion, fine. You know what I mean? Do what you do. You gotta listen to me. You gotta listen to me. I'm just a guy on the internet with a Logitech webcam, and time on his hands. You know what I mean? But like, just live. Like I'll tell you, you never find people who are just really living and like enjoying their life, asking what the purpose of life is, because you're in it. When you go on vacation and you're enjoying yourself, you don't stop to question why you came on vacation. Why do we do this again? No, you're enjoying yourself. You out there on the jet ski, on the lake, you having the time of your life. You don't stop and be like, wait a second, why did we come on vacation? What are we doing here? You're enjoying yourself. When you stop and ask, why did I come on vacation? When you're not having fun. When you go on vacation and you're not liking it, why do we even come here? When you're enjoying it, you just do it. Same with life. When you're enjoying it, when you're happy, you don't stop to question what the purpose is. You're in it. You're living it. You stop to question the purpose of life when like you ain't really enjoying life. Get some enjoyment back up in your life. You won't worry about the purpose. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my top 10. Well, my 10. Well, I'll say top 10. Currently, my top 10. Or the 10 that popped in my head when I was making this list over the last couple of days. Number 1, gratitude. Number 2, generosity. Number 3, abundance mindset. Number 4, fulfilling work. Number 5, love. Number 6, finding peace, living in the present. Number 7, hobbies. Number 8, embracing the non-serious nature of life. Number 9, accepting your mortality. You're going to die. And number 10, think for yourself. That's the list. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to take a swig of my shout out to GT. Whoa! Hold on, let me. Oh, and it's blue. That was my bad. That was my bad. I shouldn't have shook it around. Ooh, that's that sacred life. That's good. Ooh. If you got your that's good. That's good. Ooh. I hadn't had that flavor before. That's actually I really like that one. Hold on, let me clean the floor up down there. Man, that's good. I hadn't had that flavor before. I'm trying to show y'all an angle without the glare. That sacred pill, that's actually good. Ooh. This might be my new go-to. It's got like a nice aftertaste. Shout out to the people at GT's Living Foods. Appreciate the love. Your boy's starting to get promo packages now. We're getting big. Anyway, let's get in the chat. What do y'all have to say? I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. Man, that was good. That was good. A couple baked chicken thighs and a good salad. Sacred. I was about to say sacred pill. Sacred life. Kombucha. Here we are. Q&A time. Where we at? Daniela, I agree with you. You said many expectations on happiness and how to live according to society. It sucks when people put so much on you as a person. Excuse me. Ooh. Exactly. Like that is so crazy to me that like society puts pressure on you to say you have to live a certain way. Why? Like that's how you know it's by design, and like somebody somewhere is getting, some group is getting something out of it, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense for us to try to dictate to other people how they should live their life. Somebody's getting something out of this, and it's typically not us. When you think about it that way, you really start to be like, oh, wait, yeah, this is by design. This is programming for them. It ain't got nothing to do with me, because it makes no sense. Best way to shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Um, I like the ideal of just like analyzing your thoughts, and every time you find yourself having those thoughts of scarcity, stopping yourself and being like, no, universe is abundant. Like I say that so many times a day. Universe is abundant. If I find myself with a limiting belief popping up and I'm like, I can never, I'm like, bro, the universe is abundant. Why couldn't you do that? It's possible. Even some things that I'll probably never do, I don't allow myself to say I could never do it. I'm always like, bro, the universe is abundant. That you could do that. That could happen. And just constantly reminding yourself over time, it like really starts to sink in. And then you'll find yourself taking action based on your abundance mindset. Even if you only got a little small part of it, if you're like, you'll find yourself being like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I'm gonna do that today. Something small. And then when it works out, you're like, oh snap. And then I'm a big believer in baby stepping. Just constantly remind yourself of your abundance mindset. How you doing, Angela? Constantly remind yourself of your, the universe is abundant, and then start taking small actions based on that. And when you start reaping the benefits, then you're really on board, and then it won't be hard to get the abundance mindset, because you'll want it, because you'll want more of that abundance. So you'll start going for that abundance, and it becomes almost like a game. Like, how abundant can I get? How much abundance can I? How much abundance can I get? It becomes like a game, man. It becomes like a game. So that's my advice. Quick trip. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do think, sadly, sometimes, and I feel very blessed in this regard, because I had awesome parents, who were always, in, trying to get me to be positive. Never instilled any type of negativity, any type of hate, anything like that in me. Sadly, I feel like a lot of people didn't have that, and it was kind of the opposite, where their parents might have instilled a lot of negativity in them, and but that probably came from the fact that those people's parents instilled negativity in them. So that's why I'm a big believer that, like, a lot of this stuff all of us are learning, and a lot of us believe in, we need to impart it to other people, because, like, you never know who you might impart it to that might impart to someone else, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. Somebody 25 discovers this stuff, they have a child, from birth they're telling their child this, that child has an amazing life, that child has an amazing life. Whereas if that person didn't learn that stuff at 25, they might just regurgitate the same societal programming to that child. That child's life might be totally different. So I think it falls to all of us to try to, like, do our part to get the message out there, so that we can influence people positively. So, like, eventually there might come a day when the next generation, or the generations after us, don't have, like, the programming isn't so negative. Corey Cummins, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Thank you, Corey Cummins. Said, great top 10. I've noticed I've been sitting with myself more and more without my phone. Nice. Maybe because I'm a 90s baby and grew up without it at all. 32 now. Hey, I don't I think it's probably more just, you it's something, because there's a lot of 90s babies out there stuck to their phone. There's people of every generation. There's people in their 80s, you know. You like Peepaw. Peepaw, he over there. I'm from down south. They say Peepaw, Meemaw. You over there, you come to visit. You come to visit your great granddad at the old people house. He's on his phone like this. He on his phone like this, glasses down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old people used to like to tell stories and stuff. Nope, they be on their phones now. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Corey Coming. Yeah. I think, it's just that's a new technology that, and I think this is one of the things That's why I think it all evens out. Okay, people like to say, "Oh, this is a better time period because of technology than that period." It all evens out. We have more technology, so we can do things quicker and easier and more conveniently. But there's a price to pay for that. Phones, I love a lot of the stuff I'm able to do on my phone. I can drive anywhere in the country and make it back home safely because of my phone, because of the GPS. I love that. That I don't even research trips. I just be like, I'm going to Albuquerque. I hop in the car. I put it in Google Maps. I end up in Albuquerque. That's amazing. But we pay a price for that convenience. Um, and one of the things is it kind of keeps us from spending time alone. And I think that's important. It kind of keeps us from being in the present moment with ourselves. I just think there's some things that happen in life and we learn in life that can only come from sitting alone in silence with ourselves or walking alone in silence and solitude. There's a lot that we learn in life that can only be learned in solitude. And I think a lot of us now never have any solitude because we always have our phone on us. And whenever we have a break, go to the doctor's office and look in the just go anywhere. As soon as people sit down, phone. Go on the subway. As soon as people get up, phone. So they get on the phone on the subway on the phone, on their phone on the subway. Um, Sometimes you got to be alone and be alone with your own thoughts. And like some people never have that anymore. Either on their phone, listening to music, which none of that stuff is bad. But I think we all need to unplug for at least an hour or so every day. Like not just when you're asleep, but like when you're awake and conscious, unplug and just like be with ourselves. Got a lot of 80s babies in the 80s babies in the village. I'm actually a 70s baby because I was born in the tail end of the 70s, but I call myself 80s baby. Angela gonna be 45 on Saturday. Okay. Okay. That's a good point, Water Baby. When you're trying to like compare yourself to other people, you're not even comparing yourself to the real them. You're comparing yourself to the fake them that they portray. A lot of times in life, we trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're already doing better than the Joneses. The Joneses are just better actors than us. So we think the Joneses got all this other stuff going on. We already doing better than the Joneses. And here's the thing too. The Joneses are putting out this fake image and you're trying to keep up with that, but they're low key trying to keep up with you. You're their Joneses. It's all a game, man. You better off, yeah, just living your life. Just living your life, being happy. The Joneses trying to be you. They're trying to keep up with the wards. Okay. They try to keep up with Jews. Oh, we got some 2000s babies in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I've when I'm like walking, every now and then if I'm walking, I might have my earbuds in, listen to some music, but I try to walk and like not listen to like anything, not watch anything, and like it's pretty cool to just that's my time to like unplug and be alone. And I like just look like if I'm somewhere like a park, and I just like try to count the other people that are doing that as well, and it's very few, maybe like one in five, if that, will be just walking and just like enjoying nature. Or maybe like you'll see some people sometimes talk, two people talking, but like just people walking by themselves, almost like everybody's like listening to something. And I'm like, man, we just never unplug, you know? Okay, I'll be a 70s baby then. A couple people said stay in the 70s. All right, I'll rep my decade. 70s baby. I mean, but I wasn't really a baby. I mean, like I am an '80s baby. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the '80s, man. I miss the '80s. Which the '80s, a lot of like I love the hairstyles and stuff from the '80s, and a lot of that came back. So I'm not mad. But yeah, I feel yeah, I don't remember the '70s. I remember the '70s. I remember the '80s. '80s baby. Benjamin said the audiobooks, YouTube's, podcasts, and your own thoughts. How do you find a balance? Um, I think we have to make ourselves. You have to create the balance. You know, you have to create the balance and just be like, all right, okay, let me analyze my behavior over the past week. How much time did I spend on all these other things? How much time did I spend in my own thoughts? And then I think you kind of have to play with it. All right, today I'm gonna turn my phone off for an hour and I'm just gonna like maybe read, or I'm just gonna take a walk or whatever, you know. When I'm in the car driving home from work today, I'm not gonna have the radio on. I'm just gonna be me and my thoughts. And then I think you just have to analyze like, hey, was that enough? You know, you might do that on your 30-minute commute from work. You don't turn the radio on and you just sit and you think, and like that might be enough. You're like, oh, hey, I feel like I did some good thoughts, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's just a matter of, as with any time you're trying to find balance in something, you just have to play around with it. And I think for different people, the balance is different. I think me personally, I need way more time alone because that's just who I am. But for some people, some people too much time by themselves will drive them crazy. So they might just need, 15 minutes. I'm turning my phone off for 15 minutes. That's why I'm a big believer in meditation. I think meditation is the ultimate alone time. Turn your phone off, sit somewhere quietly for 15 minutes in the dark. You know, I meditate. Actually, when I meditate, I have music on. But anyway, um, I think it's different for everyone, but I think you have to play around and find that balance. But I think the first step is identifying that you need a balance. A lot of people never even think that like they need alone time. And I think we all need it on some level. Like you got to shut it all off every now and then just to like, that's like, if you're always having outside influences coming in, you're never going to be able to like figure out what you really want to do in life. We've all turned on a certain type of music and suddenly been put in a different type of mood, gone around certain people, started thinking differently. Like in order to like really figure out and design and go towards the life that's going to make you happiest, like you got to spend some time alone so you can get to know you. You can't answer these deep life questions around other people because they're going to influence you. Some of this stuff you got to sit alone and ask yourself, all right, what do I want to do? What would this look like? Blah, blah, blah. Because if you ask them these questions around other people, they're going to give you your opinions. It's going to be the same game where you start giving in to what other people believe. What would be my dream job? People chime in. Oh, you should do this. You should do that. You should do that. You'll start thinking that's you. Got to have some time alone, in my opinion. Low carb monster. Yeah. We'll do more book recommendations. I haven't really been reading a lot in the past few weeks. That was a byproduct of kind of that funk I went through that I talked about a couple weeks ago. So like when I'm going through stuff, I'm not reading as much. That's kind of a gauge. I know I'm where I need to be when I'm reading a lot. So we're gonna get back into that. So um, yeah, that's one thing I want to constantly is have like book recommendations. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. Big P90. In the beginning, I did guided meditations, but now I just I go on YouTube and I type in like meditation music, and there's some that I've identified I liked that don't have any ads in them, and there's about 5 that I like, and I just listen to the same one. I'll listen to the same one for like 2 weeks, and then I'll be like, oh, I want to go back and listen to that one. There's one I really like. It's got like water flowing in the background and some soft music. I've made a couple for myself that every now and then I'll turn on. Um, you know, but I used to do guided meditations, but I kept getting aggravated at the guides because they weren't saying what I wanted them to say. Anyone knows me, y'all know me. I'm very Tim centric. So it's just hard for like I couldn't find a guided meditation that was exactly what I wanted. Like I would be in the zone and then they would say something and I'd be like, ugh, and it'd pull me out of the zone. Because I'm like, why would you say that? Like, so I'm like, I think music might be what works for you, Tim. So I just do music. I know some people do absolute silence, but I really do, especially in the beginning. I'm all for guided meditations because I think like in the beginning it's hard to just like sit with nothing. So I think in the beginning, having someone talking helps you to just kind of like focus because you can focus on what they're saying. You can do the things they're telling you to do. Also, I think it keeps you from like falling asleep, which is one of the biggest complaints people have. It's like I fall asleep, which I'm always saying like if you're meditating and you fall asleep, so what? That's not a bad thing. That'll be some of the most peaceful sleep you ever have. So set a timer if you fall asleep, so what? But guided meditation in the beginning, I think, can help you. And some people love it all the time. But I know for me, it helped to get me in the meditation like zone. And then I like convert it to like music. And every now and then I'll do no noise. But yeah, I just set a timer for like 30 minutes and then I just turn, a little some music on and just, go from there. Here lately, I've been meditating and then going back to sleep. I did that this morning. I meditated and then I fell back asleep, which was some great sleep. Aaron unplugs while dashing. Yeah, that's a good. I was kind of the same way. Especially when you're like when you're listening to the GPS. I remember when I was on Instacart. Yeah, it's kind of hard to have music on. Like if I knew where I was going, I might turn the music on. But yeah, a lot of times I just would have the GPS going, and I loved Instacarting in Bozeman, Montana. It's a beautiful area, and I was going to all these neighborhoods I'd never been to, and the scenery and the nature, and I love looking at architecture. So like, yeah, those were some really cool times because it's just like it was just me driving my car, like no outside other than Google Maps. But yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Sexy lady, I don't really read fiction. You know, I used to, but yeah, I don't really read fiction now. I get my fiction. I feel like I get enough fiction through like movies and TV. I really can't justify the time reading fiction too. You know, that's just me. I have not tried the Calm app. No, I have not. I just feel like YouTube has all that stuff for you know. What was I doing at 31 Supreme? Oh, I was still in them streets. I was still partying. 31, yeah, we were still partying. We still getting it in. 12. I go to bed anywhere from like 10:30 to 12:30. Last night I went to bed late because I was like up and doing all kind of stuff. But yeah, usually anywhere from like 10 to midnight, somewhere in there. LJ, since I've been trying to learn meditation, I have a problem staying focused no matter how hard I try, I can't stay focused. Um, those that happens, and I know for me, like even after doing it for going on like a year now, pretty consistently, there's days where I can't focus. And I just think like that's a part of it. Is that like I think that shows that we need to meditate. You know what they say? If you can't meditate for 5 minutes, meditate for an hour. Um, so like I think just sticking with it is the key. Um, and eventually, I think the focus will come. But even if it doesn't, it's a good practice. Worst case scenario, you're spending some time sitting quietly with your thoughts. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, eventually you start to focus. You know. So yeah, I think that's when we know we really need to meditate is when we can't focus. And I know it can be frustrating. There's even some days where like I really can't focus and I'll set my timer for 30 minutes and after like 20 minutes I'm like I'm done. Today I just can't do it. But usually I can come back a couple days later and I'm good. But I just think sometimes that's part of it. And then eventually I think the focus will come. But I think it may just take longer, but like I said, it's still a good practice. It's still working. You're still meditating. You just may not focus in as easily as other people. Where am I find these comments. Toronto in the building. Okay. Spiritual Nomad Life. What's up? I'm mad at you, by the way. You didn't answer my voice message on Instagram. I'm not. I just I was just messing with you. I'm not mad at you. I was just like, low key. I am low key. You know what's crazy? I literally have like 15 messages I haven't responded to on Instagram. But if I leave somebody a message and they don't respond, I'll be like, really? Which I got to do that today. I want to do that today. I want to respond to my Instagram messages today. Supreme, hey, glad I can motivate you to stay sober, man. And like I said, I think Saturday we got a stream about sobriety. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Tomorrow's, I don't know. I haven't decided. Tomorrow's stream was supposed to be about living car free. We might switch that up. We might change that. So that's not set in stone. Tomorrow's stream might be about car free living or it might be something else. If I come up with a better topic, I might not do it. But there's something telling me that, like, even though that topic doesn't seem like it would be amazing and all that exciting, it might just be one of, I've had other times where, like, I was like, I don't know about this, and I did it and it was like great. So it might just be off the beaten path enough that like people really resonate with it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Big P90. I definitely feel like seasonal work helped me to like help me in finding myself. Yes. Um, I think it was a combination of not working as much throughout the year and also just being in some really awesome, beautiful places. And like, that's, seasonal work was when I started hiking and really getting a love for nature. So yeah, there's something about seasonal work and just, I think too, just the pressure it took off of me of, you know, in the real world, I had rent and bills and all this other stuff. When I got to my seasonal job, my first one, Yellowstone National Park, 3 meals a day, a place to stay, a job. I had no more pressure really. All I had to do was get up and go to work 5 days out the week. Everything else was taken care of. And doing that in a beautiful place like Yellowstone, I think just really, and then, spending a summer in Alaska, just, oh man, it was just so freeing and just like, just, I think that really helped me. Danielle, usually I sleep probably 3-4 hours. I wake up, I go use the bathroom, I come back to sleep, and then I sleep the rest of the time. Sometimes I toss and turn. Like last night, I woke up pretty early, oddly enough. But yeah, usually I sleep straight through. Content overload. I really don't. I've never really tried to keep up with too much stuff. No. Um. No. I just like I don't have a lot of people I feel like I need to keep up with. Yeah. I really don't. Most of the stuff I watch is a lot of times like random stuff. I really only have a handful of stuff that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. Yeah. Here's a good question. Did you lose attraction from women after losing all the hair on your head? No. Honestly, the bald look is in. Honestly, I do better when I shave my head as opposed to like when I leave it like this. But yeah, I started losing my hair at 19, so nah, nah. If she feeling you, like I can shave my head. Now it might be different if I had like a hairstyle I couldn't shave my head, but like any woman who looks at me, I think like she's like, oh man, he's losing his hair. She knows I can shave my head and still be okay. So but even if I did, so what? I think sometimes we worry too much about what people are gonna like think about us. You know, we lose sleep at night because like, oh man, I'm losing my hair. Women aren't gonna like me. The universe is abundant. You might be more attractive to people now. You mean like I don't pay no attention. Yeah, you just the womb to tomb. Aisha, you doing actual work this week? Oh, okay. Man. You gonna be leaving early. Appreciate all the comments. Sorry I can't get to all of them. There's so many, but I appreciate all the comments, man. Appreciate y'all being a part of the stream with your boy. CBH said my biggest questions are regarding safety when living that way. If there are additional things women could do to be safe when living on the road. Um, from speaking to, great question. From speaking to, I have a lot of friends who are women who travel, live on the road, things like that. Honestly, and one thing they've all pretty much said was like, it's honestly not, and this is them saying it, it's honestly not that much more dangerous. In fact, I think a lot of them, there's something to be said for being able to like pack up and leave. Say you're like living in an RV or living in your van, you're a woman, someone comes around and you get a weird vibe, you just leave. It's different when like you have an apartment, someone comes around, you get a weird vibe, you got to deal with that person. So like in our heads, all of us, and I see this a lot with women too, like in our heads, I think we think that like the nomad life is more dangerous. I almost think it's less dangerous. People plot and scheme on you who live around you, who live near you, who know your routine. When you're traveling all over the place, no one knows your routine. You might come into a city and no one ever really interact with you. You know what I mean? So honestly, like, I think all of us, men and women, you just use the same common sense safety techniques you always used, that you've always picked up. Watch your six, don't talk to strangers. When you don't go down dark alleys, don't be out late night in places that you shouldn't be out. Use those same common sense techniques, and I really don't think it's all that much more dangerous. Like yeah. When you get out there, you'll see like, oh, this honestly, like no one knows I'm here. You know what I mean? Like no one knows I'm here. I'm way more invisible nomading than like living in a normal life, I think. Oh man, I'm way behind on these comments. I'm missing all kinds of them. I'm reading them though, best I can. Appreciate the love. Bald man. Bald is in. All right. You got to block somebody every time. Every stream. That's how you know the stream's going good. Oh, okay, Spiritual Nomad Life. You deleted the app. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that one. I ain't mad no more. We're still friends. Yeah, message would be nice. Get caught up, see what you're up to. Supreme, you think the key to life is libido? Okay, all right. We're good. Okay. Respect. Know the plan. I definitely think that a positive belief helps you achieve your goals. Like if you have a negative belief, yeah, you're gonna, like if you really don't believe you can do something, you're probably not gonna do it. You can say all you want, I'm gonna do that, but if you don't believe you're going to, you're not gonna do it. You're probably, you're not even gonna start. You know what I mean? You're not even gonna start. Like if you really believe you're gonna do something, you're gonna start taking the steps to do it. I mean, it's just logical. If I think I can do something, I'm gonna start doing it. If I want to do something and I think I can do it, well then I'm gonna take the action to do it. But like if I want to do something but don't think I can do it, I'm probably not gonna take the steps to do it, and I'm definitely not gonna like put my all into it. Even if I take some steps to do it, I'm not gonna put my all into it because I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can really do it. So I might play at it, but like when you believe you can do something, nothing's stopping you because you go for it. Even if there's roadblocks, there's hurdles in the way, you keep going because you're like, I know I can do it. So yeah, when you think negatively about it, yeah, you just don't put your best foot forward if you put any foot forward at all. You know, Maliverse, appreciate telling people to hit that like button. Thank you. Yeah, I like that, Kara. Said on the road, if you feel uneasy, you just leave. Can't do that in an apartment. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things that pretty much I don't think I've ever run into male or female, anyone who was like, yeah, I just feel too unsafe on the road. Now, people have stories where they might be like, yeah, even got stories where I went places and I was like, I'm just not feeling it here. But like just in general, I think most people, and honestly, excuse me, I think being on the road, living kind of a nomadic life makes you feel safer in general because you go all these different places and you don't have any issue and you realize, oh, the country isn't as bad as the media says. You realize, oh, it is still possible to travel all over, and this applies to whatever country you're in, to travel all over this country, sometimes even the world, and be okay. There's not someone at every single gas station trying to follow you and strangle you. You know what I mean? People just out here living their lives. Are there some crazy people? Yeah, but there were some crazy people back home. And I think just more people like you just start feeling a lot more at ease when you've been a lot of different places and haven't had any incident. And even if you do have something, it's kind of like, oh, that was random. Jack's Packs. I think that's a great dream. Want to travel, retain a residence, go for it. Hey, what's age got to do with it? Figure out a way to do it. And I don't say that like callously. I know, sometimes, it takes some work to figure out what we want to do, but like it can be done. I think a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough credit for like the intelligence we all have up here. And then when you add into that the internet, like come on, like I think we all can figure out ways to eventually do the things we want to do. So go for it. Know the plan. Yeah, I think that happens sometimes. It seems like everybody else is achieving and we're not. But like what happens is that starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you look at other people achieving, you're like, why am I not achieving? There must be something wrong with me. And then like that feeling of there must be something wrong with me makes you not be able to achieve. Whereas I think the right thought to have is other people are achieving. I haven't achieved what I want to yet. Let me figure out a way to do that. You know, there's never any like solid data to ever say any of us are inferior. What would you ever base it on? We all got our things we're good at. We all got things we're not so good at. Like nobody is inferior to anyone else. Are some people prettier? Yeah. Are some people smarter? Yeah. Are some people more athletic? Yeah. But I honestly think that like when it comes to goals and things we want to do and what we think is success, all that plays in. Like I don't think my passions are going to lie in athletics because I'm not that athletic. I think that's why my passion lies in talking. You know what I mean? So like a lot of the things we are kind of down on ourselves on, it don't matter. That's not where our passion is going to lie. If you're just like, all right, obviously I'm feeling like I want to be successful in something, let me figure out what I can be a success in that maybe my friends couldn't. So instead of thinking, oh, I'm less than, it's just like, hey, I might not be the man or the woman in that category, but let me find the one I am in. Instead of thinking I'm inferior, just look for the areas where I'm superior, quote unquote. You know. Low Carb Monster, I'm definitely watching some WNBA today. I haven't looked up who plays today, or wait, was today? There might not be any games today. Honestly, I think there might not be any games until tomorrow. Yeah, I think there might not be any games. If there's games today, I'm watching them. Well, totally, totally. And I might have one. I might have one from yesterday I didn't watch. I've literally watched. There might only be like 2 or 3 games all season I haven't watched part of. Gas prices are actually going down. Nobody wants to talk about it. Gas prices are going down. Nobody wants to talk about it. Hey, prayers for your dad, for me. Prayers for your dad. Hope everything goes well. Ooh, Supreme getting a meatball. So what am I gonna have for lunch? I don't even know what I'm gonna have for lunch today. It's a chore. Hey, Sidetrack Central. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, Sidetrack Central. It's just great top 10. Always appreciate your perspectives, including not taking this game of life so seriously. The bad, painful experiences serve my journey as much as the good. I'm learning to trust the flow and enjoy myself. Hey, tell you thank you so much, Super Chat Squad. That when you get there, I love that sentence. The bad/painful experiences serve my journey as much as the good. When you get there and like you look beyond pain and suffering and you're looking at the journey, you're looking at the experience, that's when you're getting there. Because you're not just wrapped, you're seeing beyond that. You're not just wrapped up in, oh, this hurts me. It's just like, oh yeah, this hurts. But guess what? I'm learning from it. Then you're seeing beyond just pain. Like, that's a whole different. Yeah, when you're there, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you, Sidetrack Central. Thank you, thank you, thank you. $3.29 in Georgia. Oh, nice. Yeah, gas going down. No one wants to talk about it. When gas goes up, it's everywhere, all over the news. Gas goes down. It'll be the same when inflation goes down. Nobody will talk about it. That's what I'm saying. You can't get worked up on this stuff. Gas goes up, it comes down. Inflation goes up, it comes. The economy sucks and it's good. Like it's all circular. Keep the same energy. Is all I'm saying to the news media. Keep the same energy when prices go down. Keep that same energy. Yeah, what am I having for lunch? I had chicken thighs yesterday. I might go back and get some more. Would be a good lunch. I want something healthy. Yeah, that's the problem, Supreme. I don't know what feels nice. Like I don't know what to. That's usually what I do. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Like I only eat the same stuff. So sometimes I get tired of eating it. I do want to go to the store today and get I bought a blender yesterday, so I want to go. I want to go to the store and get some protein powder and some frozen fruits, so I can start making smoothies in the morning again. I've been eating Raisin Bran, and like, I feel like that's not healthy enough. Yeah, maybe I'll go to Subway. I don't know though. I be at Subway all the time. What's up, Rico? Water baby. I don't know what a Cafe Rio is. I don't think we got them. Lasagna or mac and cheese. Every now and then I'll do. That's just like a lot of dairy. My stomach gets a little woggly poggly. Um, if I eat like that's a lot of cheese. So every now and then I will. But I don't know. Yeah, even these days I don't. Maybe because of that. Like I love lasagna, but these days I really don't be craving it. Maybe because of that. You know, I had a pizza last week, so I probably won't have another pizza for 3 months. Jay Cortez, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, thank you, thank you. Speaking on mental toughness, ooh, that's an interesting topic. I'm formulating what I would say. That's an interesting topic. We'll think about it. We'll actually write that down. Hold on, I'm gonna write that down. Write that down. Mental toughness. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Oh, the bot's back. Oh, the bot is back. Danielle, I'm gonna make my smoothies with rice milk. I've been drinking almond milk. I don't know. Almond milk. I feel like it kind of does the same to me as regular milk, but rice milk seems to work. McDonald's. Ugh. This is all I ever get from McDonald's anymore is like a coffee. Every like once every 4 months, I might get a combo meal. Um, yeah, I don't really. I'm not really fast food anymore. You know, I just don't even. They don't appeal to me unless I get like a craving. Yeah, them bots are. They're never gonna go away because I mean they just keep remaking channels and I mean you can't make them go away. Like RIP to Bill Russell. Guy Reigns. Oh, you getting a week and a half off starting at 4? Nice, nice. Time for some adventure. No, I kind of want to make my own smoothies, Supreme. You know, I enjoy it, so I kind of want to make my own smoothies. Plus, I'm picky about what goes in it. I don't even know if I know how to boil eggs. I don't think I've ever boiled an egg in my whole life. 42. Never boiled an egg. I have to. I don't even have a pot. I'd have to go buy some eggs and buy a pot to boil them in. Big P90. Yes, I did seasonal work during the winter. That's one of the summer and winter are the two big seasons. I've done it here in Colorado, and I also did it in Big Sky. So yeah, YMCA, the Rockies, and at Big Sky Resort. Yeah, the wintertime. Yeah, the winter is a huge season. I mean, honestly, like the ski resorts or the move in the winter. Like working at a ski resort in the winter is, yeah. No, I don't use yogurt in my smoothies. I just do like protein powder, some frozen fruits, and then probably like some spinach or something like that, some greens. Yeah. I used to put oats and stuff in them. I don't think I'm gonna do that this time. But no, I don't use yogurt. Appreciate the flowers, goddess. Thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Publix sub, Kiara. I don't think we got Publix here. Do we have Publix here? I don't know if we got Publix here. What I've only seen bears on hikes from far away, but no, it was yeah. You don't typically see bears in the winter. Um, it was in the summer. Nah, they be hibernating. I mean, that's true. So yeah, you don't really see bears in the winter. Like you see a lot in like spring. That's when you'll see them like in town or at your seasonal job or something like that because they'll be coming out of hibernation. But you don't really see them in the winter. No, never added collagen to my smoothies. I don't even know what that is. I have walked in a cemetery before. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. I forgot about this. I saw me and Abby were walking in the cemetery in Bozeman, and we saw a baby bear in the cemetery. Blew my mind. That's got to be one of the rarest things. And it wasn't even near a bunch of woods or nothing. We saw a baby bear in the cemetery because some dude was in a truck. He's like, "Hey, there's a bear back there." And we're like, "What?" And then, and then we kept walking. Sure enough, like this baby bear, it wasn't too close to us, but I mean, it was close, but not like right up on us. And then we was like, it's one of the weird things. I'm like, did a bear just run in front of us in the cemetery? And then we're like, I wonder where the mom is. So we got up out of there. We got up out of there. But yeah, that was one of the craziest things. Yeah, we never saw the mom, but it was a baby bear running in the cemetery, which a baby bear is still decent. It was crazy. I'm like, was that a baby bear running through the tombstones? Hey, drawer prof, the prof in the building. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, Tim, what's your honest opinion on religion being vegan and health and fitness for longevity? Is that two different things? Honest opinion on religion and on being vegan and health and fitness for longevity? Super Chat Squad, thank you. Appreciate that. International Super Chat Squad. My honest opinion on religion is I personally am not a member of any organized religion. Some of the best people I know in life are, and it works for them. I just not a big fan of organizations or groups. So I commune with the divine on my own. I have a relationship with the source on my own. I'm not against religion. It just doesn't work for me. Um, Being vegan is another one that, like, if it works for you, go for it. I'm not. I've thought about it, but like, I don't like to give myself a lot of rules like that. So I could see myself eating less meat and things like that, but I don't think I would ever be like, I'm a vegetarian, I'm vegan. Um, I'm just not big on like putting rules on myself and then feeling bad because I was like, dang, I wanted a hamburger today. Like, if I want to eat better, I'll just eat better. And then like if every now and then I want a hamburger, I'll have a hamburger. Like, you know. But I big believer in like health and fitness. Yeah. Am I as healthy as I want to be? No. Am I trying to work on that? Yes. Um, do I want to like start doing more working out and fitness? Yes, because I do a lot of just sitting around the house and like I can tell the difference. When I'm out working and I'm active, I'm way healthier than like when I'm just sitting around doing this. So I got to make a change. Got to make a change because I'm trying to be here, you know, womb to tomb. And what was it? Number 9 on our list was embracing mortality. I know the day will come when I'm not going to be here, but I'm trying to stay here as long as I can. So yeah, definitely trying to get more fit and more healthy. Thank you again for the donation. Super Chat Squad. Thank you. Where was I? Yeah, they say yell "Hey bear" and bears will noise like bears don't be trying to bother people, so noise kind of runs them away. So yeah, yelling "Hey bear" and stuff like that. Or if a bears ain't coming for you, they're coming for food, stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, Joseph. I just can't. It's just hard for me to. That's what I said. There's very few labels I'll put on myself. It's just hard for me to be like, oh, I'm this group, and that means I have to follow these rules. Like, in the labels I put on myself, like I'll say I'm a minimalist. There are no rules. There's no rules of minimalism. So like that's why I don't mind saying I'm a minimalist. There's no rules. You get in organizations, they got set rules, and it's like you can't be a part of this unless you do this. You can't call yourself this if you do this. I just can't. Just not me. I'm just I don't like beating myself up for doing things that I want to do because it doesn't go along with like this organization. It's just I just have fun, man. I just live. It's all a game anyway. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Actually, with a little longer than I was going to go. I'm trying to keep these to right around 2 hours. But if we're talking, if we're having fun, I don't mind going a little longer. But you always want to leave people wanting more. And in that vein, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We will be back tomorrow, though. Um, Not sure if we're going to do the scheduled stream about car-free living. I don't know. I'll post the thing tonight, and you'll see what it's going to be about. Um, If I don't come up with anything else, we'll talk about car-free living because I think that'll be fun. Because I've already done some of the research and I've got like 10 alternatives to having a car. I think it'll be cool, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, just don't know if that's gonna get everyone interested. But we'll see. Anyway, we will be back tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Big shout out to the Super Chat squad. Thank y'all. The Super Chats definitely do help to get the motivation going to do these streams. But what also helps is the love I get from all of y'all and the thumbs up. Shout out to the lurkers. Shout out to the bots. Shout out to everybody. I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for spending time with your boy. I will talk to y'all soon. Good morning, good evening, good night. I don't know what that was, folks. I'll see y'all later.